Or you think like this job is going to change my career. It's going to be the one. It's going to be the one. And you don't get it, or you get it and it doesn't do anything. And so it's just a different perception of your work and your goals and like what's real and what should matter, you know?
Mm-hmm. Breaking into Hollywood, what was the biggest surprise when you got there?
Oh, this is hard. This is hard work. And there's 100 other girls that look just like me and that are just as talented.
So
It's
what
really
did you
rough.
do mentally when you're going through that initially to keep yourself from thinking,
Don't let it
don't
psych
know.
yourself out. I
Yeah.
mean, it's easy to come into a room with other girls waiting and you're like, oh man, that's so-and-so and she's on fire right now. She's got like 3 shows. She's great. Like she has a Golden Globe. I mean, I'm freaking out right now. Like it's hard not to compare yourself, but ultimately you just don't know what they're looking for. You just need to go in and you need to enjoy yourself and you need to have fun.
people who see reality TV
Exactly.
and think, oh, this is a stepping stone. This
It's
guarantees.
not. It's definitely not a stepping stone. If
We
anything,
can both speak to that.
Exactly. It just makes things a little bit harder.
Yeah.
Right? Because the casting directors will see you and they'll see that on the resume and they'll think, oh, she's not taking it seriously.
She's one of them.
Exactly. I did The Real World during my sophomore year of college. It was a life experience. I didn't think that it was going to segue me into this, you know, successful film career. I'm not saying that I have one, but, you know, it's not the best segue into film and TV.
So how did you get past that hump? You first of all, full disclosure, I did watch your season.
Oh,
I always thought you were the smart girl. You did. You came across as the smart girl. And I think that the people who come across as the smart ones are the ones who do tend to do in life.
A little bit better.
A little bit
Yeah.
better. So how did you get past that? I'm sure that inside you were worried about how people would perceive you, casting directors, but even the people on set. You know, you don't want them to think of you as
No.
the girl from reality TV.
No, absolutely not. I mean, you put in your hard work. You put in your dues. You do the hours. I did a bunch of extra work just to get comfortable on a set and just to see how things work. I think that's the best place to start. Either a PA, a production assistant, or as an extra, because you really get to see how things work. And then from there, I just started booking one-liners, day playing roles, weekly playing roles, to a reoccurring. The roles got bigger. So it was a learning experience, but it took years, and it's still an uphill battle to get the roles that you really want.
So growing up, did you want to be in theater? Did you want to be an actress?
I gravitated towards performing. So yes, in middle school, I was in a theater club. In high school, I played sports. In college, I concentrated on school. And then once I graduated college, I was like, okay, let's get real. Like, what do you really want to do? So I have 2 or 3 years to kind of mess around and not tell my parents what exactly my plans are.
What would they have said if you told them your exact plans?
They would have worried so much. Like, it would have aged them tremendously because they're already like such warriors.
What did they want you to be?
They wanted me to get my MBA. I think they wanted me to teach at a university or work at a huge firm. The least that they wanted was for me to at least graduate college.
Which you did?
Yes.
With
well,
economics?
Yes, with the BA in economics and business. You know, coming from an immigrant family, my parents didn't graduate college. The highest level of education was high school. So it was really important to them that I got a great education.
And so you're out of college, you have a degree in economics. What were you doing in those original years?
I was working part-time at a clothing store at Cynthia Rowley on Melrose in Los Angeles.
So what was your mindset back then? Did you feel like it was going to happen for you?
Oh, it was an uphill battle. Sometimes you'll get crazy dry spells. I had 2 years when I was out of work, and that's when I started the blog. And you come so close to getting something, and the disappointment, you just can't put all your eggs in one basket. You just go in, do your thing, do the best that you can absolutely do, and just let it go. It's the only thing you can do. I feel like that's the biggest lesson. And it's not so much that one is better than the other. It's just a different flavor.
I mean, it's apples and oranges
Exactly.
sometimes when 2 people walk
Yeah.
into an audition. So that's how you keep your sanity, by knowing and recognizing
absolutely.
that.
And you just have to live your life. Like, you can't make, your work does not define you. is what I learned the hard way. And you live your life. You fall in love, you travel. As soon as you book something, like a trip, a vacation, I'll book a job. So you just have to continue to live your life.
You fell in love.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Got
Married
Thank
relatively
you.
recently. Was there a moment where you felt like, I've made it? All of these dreams that I had as a little girl that I might have been too scared to even talk about with my parents, I'm realizing them right now.
It's an interesting question. I feel like it's not so much career-based. It's always nice to be working, and currently we're both working. We made like a little family. We adopted a dog. We got married.
Ewok.
Yes. And I feel like this is the most complete that I've ever felt.
What's your number one piece of advice to people who want what you have?
Oh, it's persistence, and it is absolutely hard work. I think you have to know exactly what you want, but then you have to know everything that comes with it, the good and the bad, because nothing is ever perfect. It's 16 to 18-hour days. It's in the bitter cold or in the heat of summer. Like, it's not as glamorous as everyone thinks, being away from family, traveling. It's keeping your eye on the prize and continuing on. But you have to make a living for yourself. So it's important to diversify your hobbies and your career, but I think it's important to enjoy what you do.
Obviously, you're very active right now as an actor, and you're working with Pet Finder.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So I found Ewok at a shelter. Unfortunately, the shelter was not on Pet Finder, but it would have saved me so much trouble. Bring the dogs.
Yeah, we'll bring the dogs in. Hey, little guy. Who's this little guy?
This is Frankie.
Hi, Frankie.
She's a little terrier mix. She's roughly 8 to 10 weeks, but she's up for adoption, and you can find her on petfinder.com.
She's adorable. And tell me about this one.
And Toto is a little boy.
Did you always have pets growing up?
I did. I had dogs growing up, but they were purebreds. But in college, I volunteered in an animal shelter. We took in a little cat. No, you don't want to chew that.
Yes, no,
but we're here celebrating Pet Finder's 20th anniversary. The organization started in 1996, and it's the largest online network of adoptable pets. So far, they've found 25 million pets a home since
These
1996.
two love each other, apparently.
You can't keep them apart.